My name is Lindsey Murphy, and I'm representing the American International School of Utah in Social Science. Thank you for your consideration. At the American International School of Utah, I've assumed many leadership positions. Some of these include being the choir secretary for my performing arts director, joining at the Allies Dinner and performing alongside Gloria Steinem for Equality Utah.
One of my favorite experiences I've had working with Lindsey is at the Equality Utah Allies Dinner. It's at the Salt Palace, 2,400 people, and we bring in a big star every year. That's my second job, is as the events producer. And I wanted to have a wall of power women playing and singing Tom Petty's I Won't Back Down. Because of course we're introducing Gloria Steinem, and so I needed a power ballad by powerful women. I also wanted to have all age ranges, and I knew that Lindsey was the talent that could represent high school students, but handle such a professional, high-stakes event.
She's a very gifted musician, but she's also just a very bright person. And she's come on board in a lot of leadership positions in choir and has really made herself invaluable to the choir as a whole.
I first found interest in the air quality after attending the Parliament of World Religion, where my mom and I attended a lecture, because neither of us really had any idea what it was.
So last year with COP, the Climate Summit in Paris, we had selected about, I think it was 16 students to go with us to Paris to march for climate change. And Lindsey was one of those students selected. And we worked really hard. We were on television, radio, we had interviews, we were lined up to work with the newspaper, and then because of the terrorist attacks, our trip got canceled. But during that time, I saw Lindsey amazingly engaged with this topic of, injustice and inequality and all that means with the climate problems. And we focused on issues here at home and abroad. And even though we couldn't go to Paris, we did a lot of in-depth work here around those issues, and it really, really polarized her to the point that she wants to go ahead and do something in China connected to climate change and make a change for social justice for all.
Alongside peers from my school, I traveled to China. The first thing I saw when I stepped off the airplane was the air quality. In Salt Lake, you can oftentimes see the mountains over the top of the air quality, but in Beijing and in Guangzhou, you can't oftentimes see past 3 blocks. And able to walk through the city streets safely, we had to wear surgical masks. And, it's something that Chinese people have grown accustomed to, and it's just their daily thing. And it even became a fashion trend by the proper surgical mask to wear while you're shuffling through this carcinogenic matter. But to me, it was really sad, and it really helped my project grow even further than that.
We have 3 things we do focus on at American International School of Utah: purpose, passion, and persistence. And I've seen a lot of examples in Lindsey of all 3 of these things, especially the leadership she's shown even from day one. Our trip to Bulgaria, taking students along, our trip to China, acting as a senior leader this year. She's really done some remarkable things.
In the middle of the first trimester this academic school year, my STEM director, Kate Humans, approached me and asked me to join her engineering capstone class. I came in with the idea to build an air quality notification system. The idea behind this is that I will design graphics to project on our prominent billboard right off the freeway, where commuters will see it daily. On these graphics, we will display PM 2.5 levels and health levels and alternatives for things people could do on that day to help the air.
One of the things that is most interesting about Lindsey is her drive and passion for doing the projects that she is working on right now. She is not one that needs prompting, but rather she'll come and say, okay, I made this progress last week. I'm excited to move on to the next step of the project, whether it's building a prototype or creating a bill of materials or learning CAD. She's excited and motivated to move on to the next phase of that project, all on her own, which makes her a great candidate for a Sterling Scholar.